I'm Chrissy.
Hi, I'm Jay.
And we are Soul Fam living together. And we want to share an experience that we had with you that will help you understand how we maintain our relationship and what happens living with Soul Family. It's all not flowers and rainbows every second.
Right. Yeah. And so in our soul family, we're brother and sister, right? So we very much so act like brother and sister, like any brother, brother or sister would with each other.
Yes.
And it's like Chrissy said, it's not always.
There aren't unicorns.
Cheerful and just skipping and smiling like the partridges.
No,
people might not get that reference.
Anyway,
what?
We're old.
We're not the old.
A little bit.
But so we were having a fire. We were having a fire in the fire pit.
Yeah, Jay made a fire. It was great. I loved it. Thanks.
And we came to a point where there was a disagreement. We don't normally have very many disagreements. Would you say that to be true or no?
I do feel like we don't anymore. I mean, I don't even know if we really did, to be honest.
I don't know if we've ever had a disagreement like that.
No, that was the first time that.
We've had disagreements, but normally they're very light and we move through them very quickly.
Yeah.
This one was different, and we kind of want to showcase how a disagreement between us and the way that we handled it would be very similar to a disagreement with your twin flame, and how you can handle that with grace
and maturity.
Sure.
Yeah, because this is like training for us living together. It's helping us communicate and go deeper into a healthy relationship in order to prepare us for our twin flame unions.
Yeah. So we came to a conversational point where I was very confused. I wasn't sure what Chrissy was communicating. I guess I was looking for a deeper understanding of what she was saying, and she just kept saying the same thing over and over again, which drove me fucking mad.
Yeah, you got
to
mad.
say the least. And I no longer wanted to move forward in that direction, so I excused myself.
Yeah, so for my experience was, it was about professional chefs. It was your life purpose work, and Jay is a professional chef. He has he's incredible, and he has a course called Divine Dish. If you're interested, we'll put that in the comments below. You can check that out if you want to work with him. He's phenomenal. This particular upset, you're welcome. This particular upset was about just him claiming his true purpose in life in regards to that domain. And I was saying the same thing. I was trying to say it in different ways, but he was receiving it in just one way. And he started to get really short with me, and identified that, and I was like, Jay, you're getting really short with me. And then I just got quiet. And I went within, and I healed within, and I chose to respect each other, and I chose to respect him in our relationship, and I felt the upset there. But after I healed that piece, that's when you excused yourself and you went inside.
And ultimately, there was work that I had to do, right? But there was ultimately there was a communication
there was
issue that we were having as well.
Yes.
And so I guess I excused myself, and I went out and did inner work on my own. And I guess we'll talk about the components of this, right? So I went and did inner work on my own, came to the conclusion that I wasn't claiming my the divinity of my life purpose, right? Which I chose to claim, and just to make it easy, I guess, and subsequently, like, I did a bunch of inner work in that area, and made new choices for myself, and then the next morning.
Yeah, so while Jay was doing that, like I kind of knew that's what was going on. I was just hanging out outside and spending some time with God and enjoying the fire. It was nice. I was looking at stars and just chilling. And I was just working through, like, it's okay that he was upset with me, right? That's something he needed to work through, and being okay with that, and just like staying in my peace, right? Even though I knew there was an upset or something we needed to work through together, it didn't feel like it was time in that moment, and so I just did me for a while, and I ended up going to bed about an hour and a half later or so. Yeah. So the next morning.
Yeah, the next morning, we had breakfast and.
Oh wait, I have a piece though.
Oh, go ahead.
So like, I knew we had to talk. Like I knew we had to talk about what happened,
Right.
And like I didn't want to be, like I didn't want to play I don't know how else to explain it, but I didn't want to come up to you and be like, Jay, we need to talk. Like, you know, that was like the energy. I just went to God and was just like, what do I do here? I have no idea what to do here. Like, how do I go about this? And God just like, just trust and allow it to unfold, like surrender. Essentially, so I just chose to surrender, and I chose to get clear with Jay. Like, I chose to go deeper in our relationship there, and I just like did my morning routine, really. Like, I have a very like almost regimented morning routine I do, and so I just did my morning like normal with God. So yeah, and then you came up and cooked us breakfast.
Well, like at the same, in the same moments, right? Like I knew that we had to talk as well,
right?
To work through whatever was the communication upset we were having. And I chose for it to be like to segue in like naturally, you know, and not have it be like we have to talk. We have to have
so bad. Yeah.
And it did. Like we had breakfast, and it just kind of naturally came up that like there was we chose to work through our communication upsets from that point on by if either of us were ever come to a point in a conversation where we felt stuck or felt like there wasn't a way forward, that we were just going to reset. We're going to hit a reset button.
Yeah, because what we don't want to happen is what happens on the fire. Like, we don't want to go to bed upset. Like, we don't want that in our relationship. And so we knew we needed to find a new way here that we hadn't done before, that we would both honor in regards to our relationship. And this really reminds me a lot of when Jeff and Shalia told us about, you know, they made like a contract out, or they had set like things that they would do prior to, like, you know,
like if they wouldn't break up for 30 days.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like, it was kind of like getting clear in that way, right? Like, because Jay and I know we're grounded in our relationship, but it was also, I have never had a relationship like this before that's this healthy and this mature and grounded in unconditional love. Like, I know Jay's not going anywhere, like, you know, and I also know, like, I don't want to play out that pattern of whatever that was. It felt bad. And so I knew we needed to get clear on how to, like, maneuver through it as we experience it.
Right, and like, this is incredibly helpful for both of our twin flame journeys, because let's just face it, you're going to come up against stuff on your twin flame journey that are arguments, or you're not seeing eye to eye, or miscommunications, and there's a way to work through it that doesn't involve like storming off or going to opposite ends of
Yeah.
the world or the home or wherever you are to fix it. Like you can work through it together if you choose, and you can choose for that to work together harmoniously and you know, not in a like shitty way.
Right, it's like a peaceful way. So we just chose to, if we ever experience that again, that we would like step back, hit reset, and really look at it from a different perspective in order to get clear together and partner in that space as brother and sister.
Right. And that's preparing us both for our twin flames and having to, or you know, working through the things that come up on your twin flame journey, because that's just the fact of the matter. It's a relationship, just like any other relationship. It's your twin flame, obviously. That doesn't mean it's immune to, like I said, arguments or not seeing eye to eye. So the faster you can partner and move through these things, the deeper you go together. And that's pretty important.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, you say things.
Oh, yeah, I have like the mind alignment process coming up for me. Like, the relationships is something I struggled with all my life. And I'm very grateful for Jay. He's been my map practitioner. Jeff conducted my map sessions, but Jay's been a huge support for me in that arena since I've had my second map session with Jeff when I was in Toronto. And this is part of it, like grounding into relationships, having that level of maturity, and it being with like a masculine energy is different for me. You know, like so I've been experienced great relationships in that department in my life up until now, and so I trust him, and yeah, I'm very grateful for Jay in many, many ways, and his ability to like just love me as I move through stuff is precious to me, and so yeah, he's really good at what he does.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. One thing I do want to mention or expand on something you said was the maturity piece, right?
Yeah.
Like, at no point did we, was there like any kind of explosive fight, or
no.
did we like call each other names or anything, or like something juvenile?
No.
You know, we handled our shit with maturity, and it's a learning process, right? Like,
Right.
we got clear on what to do in case of emergency.
Right, that's communication.
Yeah.
It requires deep communication to live together.
Yeah, and there's like it's same with your twin flame. There's no reason to overreact to nonsense.
Right.
Just you know, most people watching this are adults and should act accordingly.
Yes.
And always with love. I mean, that's pretty important, and it's the name of the game.
Yeah, that's why we're here, to love ourselves, to learn to love yourself, and essentially, therefore, you can love others.
Yeah, and if you want your twin flame, unconditional love is, you're not getting there without that piece. So, you know, sit with that one.
Yeah,
That's
love
it.
you.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.